What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to another video. I'm excited to jump on again and just talk to all of you about a little bit more about this car, right? About the M4 that I just got. Now, if you haven't seen my review video, click the link up here and you'll see it. I explain why I got the car, how I got it, and just a few things I'm really excited for it. But for this video particularly, I'm going to address what the break-in period is for all M cars. So let's get to it. So what is this break-in period that all M cars have to go through? I'm first going to talk about just an overall foundation of what this break-in period is, and then I'm going to address some myths, and then some things that I went through personally. So first off, the break-in period is a service that all brand new M cars have to go through when they're at 0 miles, right? Fresh from the factory. I got this one with 7 miles in it, and maybe 3 of those miles were mine from the test drive. Now, when I drove this car, I was informed that I would have to go through a break-in period, which means I have to keep it under 4,000 RPM, and I have to keep it under 1,200 miles. In fact, when I go through the gauges, I can see the service period, and it says 1,200 miles to go, right? Now, I even signed the paper when I financed the car that I agree that after the 1,200 mile mark, I will go and take it in to get serviced. Failure to do so will void my warranty. So that's the break-in period. All brand new M cars only have to go through a break-in period. Anything under an M car, you don't have to worry about it, right? You can just drive normal and be, a normal driver out there. But for these cars in particular, you have to do this. So what are these myths, right? There's a bunch of myths out there about what consists of this break-in period that I'm learning about. So the first one is they use a very, very synthetic oil that's made to do a few things. So sole purpose of that oil, which is why they keep it under 1,200 miles, it's because the new machinery in there needs to get broken in. And when it gets broken in, metal on metal, there will be debris. So this synthetic oil serves to smooth. It's meant to also buff out the debris, basically, help to smooth out the process of the grinding process. And then lastly, when they flush out the oil, it's meant to grab all those particles and just spit it out to ensure that the motor doesn't have any debris. So yes, it is a very synthetic oil, but made with a purpose. That's why they limit it at 1,200 miles. The second myth is there a rev limiter? Well, no. When I test drove this car, I went over 7,000 RPM. One, I didn't know about this break-in period. And two, the sales rep was like, hey, punch it. I'm like, okay. So I punched it and I felt the full force of this car, which was crazy. The car just skidded and it lost back traction. It was insane. But anyways, yeah, there is no rev limiter. I mean, I drove it well over 7,000 RPM at the test drive, but after being warned about the 4,000 RPM thing, I really babied the heck out of this car. I really, truly did. So I kept it under 4,000 RPM. Obviously, when it was 0 to 60 to have the opportunity, I did punch it. But granted, I had to shift under 4,000 RPM. So as far as the rev limiter, there isn't really. Again, I followed the rules and I kept it at 4,000 RPM. Second, a down tune. People believe that BMW North America actually down tunes this car during the break-in period to preserve the motor, right? It's a very expensive motor. You don't want to pay for this if you like blow it up, right? So to do that, there's a myth that BMW actually down tunes the motor to give it less horsepower. So that way you're not overheating the car with that very synthetic oil inside of it. Well, no. I feel the same power as I did. Now, granted, it was under 4,000 RPM, but from 0 to 60 and even shifting it really quick at 4,000 RPM, I still feel the same type of power. And I even spoke to one of the sales reps. Now, granted, how much did this sales rep really know? I don't know. So that, I personally don't think that that's true, just from what I've experienced. Now, I do know what it feels like to have a power difference. When I tuned my first car, the 320, the N20 motor, when I tuned it, right at the get-go, even off the driveway, I felt the power difference in the gas pedal, on the throttle. Even just stepping on it from 0 to 60, there was a huge difference. So as far as power differences and me noticing it, I know what that feels like. And this car has not felt different since that whole process and service went through. So down tune, myth kind of busted, right? And lastly, I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, the last one is, and the last myth is what happens if you go over the 1,200 mile mark, will BMW void your warranty? Well, yes, they will. So if you don't honor the 1,200 miles or whatever mileage they mark on your M car to get service, mine was 1,200, then it is a probable cause for ruining the motor, ruining the differential, right? Because those are the two things that get flushed out, the differential oil and also the motor oil. And if you take it over 1,200 miles, let's just say a couple hundred miles, it's okay. I actually turned this car in at like almost 1,400 miles because I live far away from my dealer. But I take the drive because I trust them. I like that dealer. So I go there all the time, regardless where I live. It's about maybe 40 miles away from me, to give you an idea. But I really, really like the people there, and I trust their service. But anywho, that's not the matter of the fact. I did turn in the car to get service for the break-in period at about 1,400 miles when there should have been 1,200 miles. They didn't care, and nothing was wrong with my car. Now, granted, if you take it over 1,000 miles, that's a problem, right? I've seen people online do research saying that they actually turn in the car at 1,000 miles over and the motor failed. In fact, there was like boring, scoring inside of the cylinder walls because of the lack of oil that was in the car because of the synthetic oil that just burnt. So all that to say is follow the rules. Yeah, there's a reason why these cars have a break-in period, unlike any other car out there. Very few cars out there actually do a break-in service. So these are very, very delicate vehicles, I would say, with the way that they're supposed to be maintained. You could abuse the crap out of them, drive it, right, and just track it and put crazy miles on this car, but you do have to maintain the motor. It does take quality to maintain it. So follow the rules. I wouldn't break it, right? So if you have the opportunity to get one of these, honor the break-in service because it does make a difference. Now that I'm driving it and now there is no more break-in service, I have been abusing the heck out of this car, obviously when I'm by myself. But this car is really powerful, and I felt the experience of just going over 5,000 RPM, and it's a beast of a car. So guys, anyways, sorry for this type of video. I just wanted to be more informative and see what you guys like out there. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. I'm partnering with Kies Motorsports in a whole different level, and I'm excited just to show you what this car becomes. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe if you like BMW builds and DIYs. Subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of videos for this type of audience. I'll do it again. So if you're interested in just BMW content and how to do it yourself and save money, right? Because dealerships and other mechanics charge you an arm and a leg, and I show you how to install bolt-ons, do maintenance services and all this stuff, and really cool modifications, both exterior and interior. And I also can recommend really cool products to try out for your car. So if you're interested and if you have a BMW M20 motor, right, 320, 328, or if you have a B58, I had a 440i, or now a G82 M4, guys, sub to the channel, and there's a ton of content coming out. So make sure you subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Drop a comment if you have a question. And guys, I will catch you very soon. Thank you for watching.